This massive structure, built over 5 years, is designed to withstand the very worst the North Sea can throw at it.
For centuries, the Yellow Sea dictated the boundaries of Korea. Today, TechGen Manufacturing shows you how we broke those ancient maritime limits. The central question is, how can we build a permanent structure on a seabed of soft mud that shifts with every powerful tide? The architectural route lies in the evolution of World War II mulberry harbors, now scaled to a national strategic level to defy nature. The process begins with seabed stabilization. We are dealing with hundreds of meters of silt that can swallow entire buildings whole. I will lead you deep into the sand compaction pile (SCP) system, the core technology used to create a rigid foundation in the mud. Massive sand injection rigs plunge into the depths, creating thousands of vertical pillars to reinforce the geological structure of the Yellow Sea. But the real challenge is the tidal force. Observe the violent currents reaching 7 meters per second during the final closure phases. To counter this, we deploy high-strength geotextile mats combined with military-grade polymer fibers to prevent the core layers from sinking. This process requires extreme precision. Every square meter of the foundation is scanned using underwater sonar to detect even a millimeter of shifting. The rock dumping fleet follows. These ships carry millions of tons of granite, calculated to create an unbreakable, gravity-based structural core. Every rock is positioned via real-time satellite GPS coordinates, ensuring the wall's alignment remains perfect across the entire 33-kilometer stretch. The assembly requires synchronized heavy lift barges and laser guidance systems to manage the massive hydraulic forces of the deep ocean. You are seeing the core foundation taking shape. This is where we anchor the future of Korea's smart industrial and renewable energy zones. This is only the beginning. Next, I will take you inside the Sinsi sluice gates, where we manipulate the pulse of the Pacific. We are entering the Sinsi Sluice Complex. This is the nervous system of Saemangeum, controlling the water levels of an entire coastline. Each gate is a 500-ton steel behemoth, designed to withstand the corrosive salinity and immense pressure of the Pacific Ocean depths. The installation requires absolute synchronization. Look at the high-precision winches, lowering the gate into its reinforced concrete housing. Observe the hydraulic cylinders. These are the largest in Asia, capable of generating 5,000 tons of thrust to move the gates. The sealing system uses military-grade EPDM rubber, ensuring zero leakage, even when the external sea level rises during extreme storm surges. Engineers monitor the gate's alignment using fiber optic strain sensors. Even a micron of deviation triggers an immediate automatic correction. But the challenge is not just movement, it is endurance. The steel surfaces are coated with glass flake epoxy to prevent cathodic corrosion. This coating process involves a 3-stage thermal spray, creating a molecular bond that lasts for over half a century underwater. Notice the sacrificial zinc anodes attached to the structure. They are designed to corrode first, protecting the primary steel skeleton. The control room operates on an isolated AI network. It processes tidal predictions and adjusts the gate openings to maintain ecological balance. Every operation is a dance of physics. The gates must open at precise intervals to prevent sudden pressure drops that could erode the seabed. Beneath the gates, massive concrete aprons are laid. These energy dissipators prevent the rushing water from scouring the wall's foundation. We use high-density precast blocks, each weighing 80 tons, interlocking like a giant puzzle to neutralize the kinetic energy of the sea. The visual scale is staggering. From this angle, you can see the true thickness of the steel-reinforced concrete walls shielding the land. With the gates secured, we move to the next phase, the massive rock armor installation to shield the wall against the 100-year storm. This is the armor layer. We are placing millions of tons of riprap and tetrapods to break the impact of 30-foot waves. Observe the tetrapods. Their unique four-legged shape is designed to dissipate wave energy by allowing water to flow around them. Every tetrapod is cast from high-strength sulfate-resistant concrete, ensuring they do not degrade in the harsh saltwater environment for decades. The placement process is a logistical marvel. Cranes use automated grabbers to interlock each piece into a stable, non-linear defensive grid. Notice how the waves lose their momentum as they strike this porous barrier. This is the science of fluid dynamics in action. Behind the tetrapods lies the filter layer. This consists of smaller stones that prevent the internal sand core from being washed away. Engineers calculate the void ratio of these layers to ensure maximum stability against the relentless suction of the receding tides. We are now moving to the wall's crest. This is where the massive concrete crown wall is being poured to prevent overtopping. The crown wall uses a curved profile, a design that literally throws the ocean waves back into the sea during a storm. Look at the reinforcement cages. Thousands of tons of epoxy-coated rebar are woven together to provide the ultimate tensile strength. The pouring process is continuous. To avoid structural seams, we use slip-form paving technology that moves slowly but never stops. Quality control is brutal. We take core samples every 50 meters to test for air voids and compressive strength in our laboratories. The precision of the crest height is critical. Even a 10-centimeter error could lead to catastrophic flooding during a super typhoon. Observe the specialized sensor pipes being embedded into the concrete. These will house the seismic and pressure monitoring equipment. With the armor and crest completed, the sea wall is now a formidable fortress. The ocean is officially under our control. The structural fortress is ready. Now, we begin the integration of the wall's digital nervous system, the fiber optic sensing network. Thousands of meters of sensing cables are embedded into the crest, capable of detecting vibrations smaller than a human heartbeat. This technology allows us to monitor the real-time health of the dam, predicting potential structural fatigue before it becomes visible. Engineers deploy autonomous ROVs to inspect the underwater foundations, ensuring no erosion has occurred during the heavy construction phase. The ROV's 4K sonar mapping creates a digital twin of the submerged wall, revealing the hidden complexity of the granite armor. Observe the installation of the wave-powered generators. We are turning the ocean's kinetic energy into electricity to power the entire system. This is a closed-loop energy cycle. Saemangeum is not just protecting the land, it is actively fueling the new industrial economy. The final structural elements are the expansion joints. These allow the 3-kilometer wall to breathe and shift with thermal changes. Without these precision gaps, the summer heat would expand the concrete, causing catastrophic internal cracking along the entire ridge. We use high-elasticity polysulfide sealants injected under high pressure to ensure a permanent, flexible, and watertight connection. The massive sluice gates are now undergoing final stress tests. Synchronized movement is controlled by a triple redundant server array. Look at the sheer power of the hydraulic lift. 10 gates moving in perfect unison, defying thousands of tons of sea pressure. Everything is leading to this moment, the transition from a massive construction site to a fully operational, high-tech maritime border. We are reaching the strategic center of operations, the brain of the project where every data point converges for absolute control.
As you can see on the holographic display, the signal is fluctuating significantly around the target zone. We believe the interference is localized.
With the wall secured, the second miracle begins: the desalination and drying process of the internal reclaimed basin. We are transforming 400 square kilometers of saltwater marsh into fertile, stable land suitable for high-tech manufacturing plants. The first step is controlled drainage. We use the sluice gates to strategically empty the basin during low tide, preventing seawater re-entry. Observe the massive pumping stations. Each pump can move 50 tons of water per second, accelerated by industrial-grade electric motors. As the water recedes, the hidden landscape of Saemangeum emerges a vast expanse of mud that must now be desalinated. We deploy a network of horizontal drain pipes. These veins of the land extract the salt-heavy groundwater from deep within the silt. Natural rainfall is harnessed to flush the soil. This 3-year desalination process is the most patient stage of the entire project. Notice the specialized vegetation being planted. These halophytes are designed to absorb salt from the soil, accelerating the drying process. Simultaneously, the dredging fleet begins the Great Fill. We are moving millions of cubic meters of sand from the outer sea. Massive suction dredgers vacuum the seabed sand, transporting it through kilometers of floating pipes directly into the basin. This is hydraulic filling at an industrial scale. The sand settles, displacing the remaining water and creating a solid plateau. Engineers use laser-guided bulldozers to level the new land. The precision of the slope is critical for future urban drainage systems. Look at the compaction rollers. They use high-frequency vibration to eliminate air pockets, ensuring the land can support massive factories. We are literally creating a new province, a stable foundation where only a decade ago there was nothing but deep salt water. The ground is now firm. We are ready to install the primary infrastructure: power grids, water lines, and the 5G industrial network. The foundation is solidified. Now we begin the subterranean phase, the installation of multi-purpose utility tunnels beneath the new city. These tunnels house the lifeblood of the province's water, power, and telecommunications, protected from the corrosive maritime air. Observe the automated pipe-laying robots. They weld high-density polyethylene pipes with laser precision to ensure zero leakage for a century. We are installing a 1.2 gigawatt smart grid. This system dynamically reroutes power based on industrial demand across the reclaimed zones. Look at the substation transformers. They are built with specialized gas insulation to prevent arcing in the high-humidity coastal environment. Simultaneously, we establish the zero-waste water cycle. Every drop of industrial water is recycled through a 3-stage membrane bioreactor. These filtration units use nanotechnology to remove heavy metals, returning pure water back to the manufacturing cooling systems. The scale of the underground works is immense. We are moving thousands of tons of precast concrete culverts every single day. Precision leveling of the sewer lines is critical. A deviation of just 2 millimeters would disrupt the gravity-based flow across the flat terrain. Next, the solar surface project begins. We are covering the inland water reservoirs with floating bifacial solar panels. Floating solar reduces evaporation and increases panel efficiency through the cooling effect of the water. A perfect engineering synergy. The anchoring system for these panels uses flexible tethers to accommodate the shifting water levels inside the desalination basin. Engineers monitor the energy output from the central control hub, integrating it with the offshore wind farm data in real time. This is the backbone of a carbon-neutral industrial zone, infrastructure that breathes and adapts to the environment. With the subterranean works completed, we rise to the surface to build the ultimate logistics artery, the Saemangeum Expressway. The expressway is the heart of our logistics strategy, a multi-lane highway designed for autonomous heavy-duty transport vehicles. We use a specialized polymer-modified bitumen. This material is engineered to withstand extreme temperature fluctuations without cracking. The roadbed is reinforced with a geogrid layer, distributing the weight of thousands of freight trucks across the reclaimed foundation. Observe the automated paving fleet. They operate in a platoon formation, controlled by high-precision GPS to ensure a perfectly flat surface. Every 50 meters, embedded sensors track the asphalt's temperature and compaction density during the cooling process. Parallel to the highway, we are installing the high-speed rail corridor. This links the Saemangeum port directly to the Eurasian rail network. The rail sleepers are cast from ultra-high-performance concrete, designed for stability at speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. Notice the specialized noise barriers. They use acoustic metamaterials to cancel out the roar of industrial traffic from future residential zones. Now, focus on the port terminal. We are building a deep-water berth capable of hosting the world's largest container ships. The quay walls are constructed from massive steel pipe piles, driven 60 meters into the seabed to provide absolute stability. These piles are protected by an impressed current cathodic protection system, using electricity to stop rust before it starts. The port is fully automated. Remote-controlled gantry cranes will move thousands of containers daily with surgical precision. This is the gateway to the world, a strategic node in the global supply chain, built from nothing but vision and engineering. As the final layers of asphalt are laid, the bridge sections are hoisted into place, connecting the seawall to the mainland forever. The infrastructure is live, the city is ready. The transition from construction to operation is nearly complete. The skeleton and arteries are complete. Now, we enter the green lung phase, establishing the ecological buffer zones. We are planting millions of salt-tolerant trees to create a windbreak system, protecting the inner city from harsh sea gales. Observe the automated irrigation network. It uses desalinated rainwater to maintain the soil's moisture and nutrient levels automatically. Engineers perform the final stress test on the seawall's structural sensors, simulating extreme seismic and tidal events. Every data point confirms our calculations. The wall is not just standing, it is absorbing and neutralizing the ocean's fury. The focus shifts to the smart city grid. We are activating the 5G, advanced towers that provide ultra-low latency for autonomous factories. Look at the edge computing centers located along the wall. They process terabytes of environmental data in milliseconds. This is the integration of physical and digital infrastructure, a living laboratory for the future of human civilization. The first industrial park is officially powered on. Manufacturing lines are being calibrated within the zero vibration zones. We are witnessing the birth of a new economy, a strategic hub for semiconductors, hydrogen energy, and global logistics. The seawall is now a bridge to the future, a 33.9-kilometer monument to what mankind can achieve through engineering. Notice the silence. The chaos of construction has been replaced by the hum of an operational high-tech province. We have successfully moved 123 million cubic meters of earth. The final asphalt layer now connects the mainland to a new industrial future. The artificial horizon is now a reality. This reclaimed territory will house the next generation of smart cities and renewable energy hubs.
As the sun sets on this incredible structure, we can truly appreciate the scale of the new city wall, a testament to modern infrastructure.